It is Monday, February 16th in the United States and Canada. This is a show called What Chaos from the Sports Interaction Studio in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is David B. and I sit beside Pete Blackburn. And holding it down in that country of champions, it's Sean DePaz. Hello, Sean.
Hello. I appreciate you coming to me first. I feel like it's been a while since that happened, but
I feel like I actually feel bad because I think a lot of times I go to you first when
you're right.
Like proximity wise, I should be going to Pete, but I go to you. But I feel like you get the ball rolling as long as like Pete's not offended.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, true.
All right, well he's cool with it. So yeah, I get it.
I feel like at least recently I've been starting because I have had to push back on the City of Champions claims, but the Country of Champions I can get behind without any pushback.
All right, couple of comments in the chat. Mainly that you are looking pretty referee forward today.
Soccer jersey. It does look pretty reffy when you're looking just kind of shoulders up because you don't see any of like the kind of like the badges or the sponsor type things on it or the numbers on the back. But no, I'm more soccer player-y. But yeah, I understand it does look a little reffy. I'm a huge fan of long sleeve soccer jerseys though.
Yeah, they absolutely rule. So do U.S. Women's. I'm so glad that we pushed the show back an hour today so we could watch USA dismantle Sweden. 5-0, I believe, was the final.
5-0 final, yep.
They could have kept going. That shit was like, I love a good game where your team's winning comfortably and you're like, I'm pretty positive they're going to win this game. And then there's a moment like in the second period where they just like fucking break it open. 2 goals, 58 seconds. Bang. Things are good in
line. That Bilka, Heisey, Murphy line is just fucking different. That's so fun to watch.
Yeah. We are going to do, well, actually, no, let me give that to Pete. Pete, what is on the show today?
Today on the show.
Throw it up, Sean. What you got? All right, there you go.
Today on the show.
Today on the show, Pete.
Today on the show.
A little stage fright.
Pete is struggling. All right. I don't know what's funny, but what's on the fucking show, dude?
I can read it for Pete if he's going to have stage fright. U.S. Women advance. Catching up, I mean, obviously that's the U.S. going to gold. If you couldn't tell, catching up and cutting corners.
Let's see what the rundown entails.
You had your chance. Sean's doing it, Pete.
Classic, not letting me talk. Catching up and cutting corners. We're going to show some highlights from the Olympics, and I know what many of you are thinking. You can't do that, and so we're not. But we also kind of are. And then Petey
Shang
and
Peng is going to join the show.
Shang's not on the show today,
nope,
Pete.
Not today.
Sean's doing
today.
it now.
We got Petey and I don't want to butcher
Bridgette Proulx.
last name. Proulx. Okay, that's what I thought, but I was gonna throw an L in there somewhere, and I knew it wasn't gonna sound right. Obviously, everybody knows Steve Peters, Petey, and then Bridgette, former PWHL play-by-play commentator, does. Hockey East for NESN, does a little bit of work for WEEI. So we're getting a men's and women's hockey talk today.
Yeah, Bridgette rocks. She has, as you said, done play-by-play for PWHL and all like kind of perfect for this because she does a lot of NCAA. So she's like covered the Abbey Murphys and the Tessa Janicki's of the world. So she knows all this well. And I've been chatting to her about the, like, kind of what we were talking about with Shayna last week, which is shit looks amazing right now for USA Olympics, and the winners are going to be the PWHL. Although, I'm getting a little upset the more I watch Hannah Bilka. Should be in Boston.
I was going to say, as a biased Boston person, I'd be pissed too.
It's a biased Boston take, but also like I can't figure it out because like expansion drafts mean teams are going to lose players, but also I think that it's important for a young league to have star players be in one place for a long time. So we'll talk about that with Bridgette Proulx, and then we'll talk about the men's tournament a bit with the great Steve Peters. Quickly, though, we'll catch you up on what happened today. USA Women's advances to the gold medal game. They beat Sweden. We're going to find out later this afternoon who USA will play. Canada's in the semifinal themselves against, who's Canada playing?
Switzerland.
Switzerland, yes.
US is playing Canada. No disrespect to Switzerland, but
I think the hockey gods have disrespected Switzerland enough the last few days. So I'm rooting to see a USA Canada matchup, but I'm also rooting for anything good to happen to Switzerland. As I said earlier, it was 2-0 in the middle of this game, and then USA scored twice in 58 seconds. Abbey Murphy, tough angle snipe, and then throws herself into the boards. Lambeau leap onto the boards. Such a fucking rock star. I was playing hockey last night, and I ran into a whatnot. And after the game, we were just like, God, like Abbey Murphy is going to be the shit stirrer of the PWHL, and I cannot wait for her to get there. And then shortly after, USA scores a fourth goal that originally I was very excited. No offense to Kendall Coyne Schofield.
Yeah.
I was very excited to think that it was a Layla Edwards goal because it would have meant her third goal in 3 games. We're going to do some tournament MVP talk in a little bit, and tournament MVP not necessarily meaning the best players, though Layla Edwards is one of them, but basically our favorite people so far in the Olympics. And Layla Edwards moving to defense and just owning the tournament fucking rocks.
The reverse Quinn Hughes, not to make this about a man, but remember Quinn Hughes? It was Quinn Hughes, right? That someone said that he should get moved to forward, and he ended up being in Vancouver specifically, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think Barry Trotz said so. Not Barry Trotz. Sorry, I'm lumping white men of a certain shape and size.
It was Talkit that said it, that someone had said it, right?
No shit. Was it Boudreaux for some reason? It was like one of those old guys.
I think it was Boudreaux. Yeah, that sounds right. Yes. But I think this was the right move. Layla going from forward to D.
Yeah. What happened there?
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, it's gold medal time for the women, and that's going to be awesome. As for the men's, the qualification playoff games are Tuesday. Sean, you made a nice full screen if you want to throw that up. Number 1 seed Canada, number 2 seed USA, number 3 seed Slovakia, number 4 seed Finland all have byes to the quarterfinals, which will be played on Wednesday. So tomorrow we're going to see Germany, France. We're going to see Switzerland, Italy. We're going to see Czechia, Denmark, and we're going to see Sweden, Latvia, and then we get the quarterfinals on Wednesday. I just got to say, shout out Slovakia. Shout out Slovakia winning Group B.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, shout out Finland too, because I think most people would have assumed that like 3 spots were spoken for, and it was U.S., Canada, Sweden.
Yes.
And what happens from there happens from there. But Sweden, I guess, a little disappointing, to be quite honest. But yeah, I don't really care who's in those other games because it's all leading to one thing. But USA's path is going to be quite difficult. Them having to play Sweden in the quarters, presumably.
Yes.
No disrespect to Latvia, is a little tough.
Okay, we're going to catch you up from things over the weekend with things that we can't show, and I know that a lot of people are finding ways to skirt the Olympic rules because you can't just show videos on your shows. I've seen so many tweets embedded in stories, and then I click on the story, and the tweet is just one of those like super zoomed in. This tweet has been removed by like the government.
Yeah, copyrighted.
So we're going to try to find our way around it. We're going to show relevant clips, sort of, recreations, whatever. We're going to start with, I was shopping on Saturday, hit the outlets, was watching the game on my phone, walking around, crashing into people. I was on a slight delay, and I got a text from Sean DePaz that said, "Get Jeremy Swayman off my country." And I thought, uh-oh.
I think I said out of my country.
Yeah, oh yeah, right.
remember,
It's
but-
typically get him off my team. Now, I feel bad for Jeremy Swayman. I'm very happy for him that he got a start in an Olympic game. He rules. He deserves it. He got a win on Saturday, except he gave up a shocking goal. With Saturday's game against Denmark tied 1-1 in the first period, Swayman allowed a goal from center ice to forward Nicholas B. Jensen. I am choosing to celebrate Nicholas B. Jensen on doing something absolutely unheard of in the Olympics. We can't show you the actual goal, but we can show you PK Subban scoring from center ice twice in his NHL career.
Here's Subban, long drive, it scores!
Oh, it's Korpisalo. This is Proulx
Korpisalo,
goal.
I was gonna say.
Look at Subban. Subban fucking rocked.
Nashville's 0 for 2 on the power play. Didn't test Nielsen on that one, but now they score from center. PK Subban has his second weird one of the game as Nielsen just missed it with the glove.
Shout out Nicholas B. Jensen. Very good
What
stuff.
a name, also. Nicholas B. I love just throwing an initial in there.
It's the Michael B. Jordan of Denmark.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit.
All right, well, Pete Homer. Now, Petey and the broadcast. I saw you on DFO after. It was awesome. You and Petey did a breakdown of the game. And there was a lot of talk of he let in the goal because there was some black stuff on the boards. Like the boards were black.
the
So
decals,
maybe when he was looking at the puck, it blended in. And after the game, Jeremy Swayman said, "Oh, well, I'm colorblind." So I don't know if that explains anything because it's still dark, but I didn't know that Jeremy Swayman was colorblind. So that's a fun fact.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that either. I don't know if this is like ableist. I don't know how I feel about my goaltender whose entire position is based on his vision being colorblind. And also, I don't think like a black puck being on a black background really works for anybody. Even if you're not colorblind, I think you'd have a hard time seeing that. So, but I mean, shut up. I was very hard on Jeremy Swayman. I don't think ultimately they were just very tough. I feel a little bad for him because obviously he didn't let in that goal because he's a bad goalie. He let in that goal because he had a hard time. But it can't happen in the Olympics, especially if they're playing somebody that's better than Germany or Denmark.
Yeah. Well, shout out Nicholas B. Jensen. Very big day for him. In the first period of Sunday's game against Germany, Austin Matthews and Jack Hughes crashed into each other during a power play, and that was the angriest I've been. We're not allowed to show anything. That's all we can do is like a little cartoony thing, but it was so much better than that. They just smacked into each other, and they won the game, I believe, 5-1.
Yeah, I love it because that's one of those things. That's one thing about the Olympics in general is that you got to see it live, or else you may never see it again.
Yes,
because this isn't a clip that Team USA or the Olympic Committee is clipping and putting on in their own socials. So it's gone forever, and I kind of love that. But we were there to witness Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews' most embarrassing moment, and if you weren't there, you missed it.
This happened also with the Tom Wilson thing, which I guess we can just do that, is Tom Wilson got thrown around a bit by a French dude. In the third period of Canada's 10-2 win over France, Nathan MacKinnon took a big hit from a guy called Pierre Crinon, I believe. Tom Wilson made him answer for it, and this Pierre Crinon fella made Tom Wilson answer for it. It resulted in a Tom Wilson Gordie Howe hat trick in the Olympics, which is pretty sweet because you're not allowed to fight in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I'll allow that because it's the Olympics, but I feel like you gotta win the fight, and it wasn't a real clean fight, and he kind of got bodied it there a little bit. So I don't know if you can. If this was the NHL and that happened, I wouldn't be giving him a Gordie Howe hat trick. But I think dropping the gloves at all in the Olympics gives you the check mark for the fight.
I think what makes it a positive for Tom Wilson, I saw some discourse about this, is that he fought and that no one was mad about it. What are the odds that was going to happen? The odds that Tom Wilson was going to fight, I would say 35% chance he was going to try to fight at some point because he was just going to be I don't care what these rules are. This is what I do. I'm Tom Wilson. But the fact that it was standing up for Nathan MacKinnon and also I think it endears himself to people that he did not lay a beatdown on this guy. If anything,
I mean, I feel like Tom Wilson is one of those guys who it just depends on how you feel about him going into it, because I feel like there's also a lot of people who are like, this fucking rat. Thank you, Pete. Like doing. Like, oh, he's mucking it up at the Olympics, a dirty player. And then he, like, after the French guy got pulled away, Tom Wilson kind of ran around and tried to fight him again when he was a little defenseless. And
yeah.
So I feel like it's like a Rorschach test. If you already hate Tom Wilson, you're going to see it as Tom Wilson being a rat. And if you have time for Tom Wilson, it will endear you to him.
Kevin Fiala, unfortunately, is out for the regular season. This is one where if we could show you, we would choose not to. There was a speaking of, was it Tom Wilson that he got?
It was Tom Wilson.
Yeah, he got tangled up with Tom Wilson on just a weird collision.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's another one where people are like, if you hate Tom Wilson, you're like, of course it's Tom Wilson. He's a dirty player. But like, if you're being unbiased, like, yeah, it's just unfortunate that it happened to be the guy who has a reputation for being dirty.
I don't give a shit.
Now, cool it. Kings put out a statement saying that Fiala had surgery, will be out for the rest of the regular season, will be reevaluated after. This sucks for 1,000 reasons. One is that Kevin Fiala is the Kings' second best forward this season. I mean, I guess getting Artemi Panarin helps, but they were looking to get a lot better offensively, and this might just kind of offset losing him. Another thing is that there isn't really like the cap space silver lining that typically comes when you lose a star player, because first of all, like, they're changing the rules this year. Second of all, the Kings have so much cap space. They have nearly $11 million in cap space as is. Puckpedia has their deadline cap space at like $16 million or something. So like, they would rather have Kevin Fiala, but maybe he'll be back for the postseason, and that will be good. Now, I think this is the last one that we have. This one's frustrating. Matthew Tkachuk gave Leon Draisaitl the old "always a bridesmaid, never the bride" speech. USA beat Germany 5-1 Sunday, and Tim Stützle scored the only goal for Germany. And during the third period, USA forward Matthew Tkachuk, I will note, got as close to the cameras and mics as he could and yelled some stuff at Leon Draisaitl about always the bridesmaid, never the bride. We can't show it. We're going to analyze it. We can't show it, but we can show you a scene from Tim Burton's Corpse Bride to give you the idea.
Get out.
Oh, never seen this movie, by the way.
Me neither.
But first, a toast to Emily. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Tell me, my dear, can a heart still break once it's stopped beating?
Let me at him! Let me at him! No, don't hold me back!
Shout out Freddie.
I was gonna say that the Frederick Tiffels nod at the end is the best part of that.
I was looking up Freddie Tiffels jerseys. I did not realize. I learned a lot about Freddie Tiffels last few days. Drafted by the Penguins. They fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Let him go.
Damn.
NHL fucked up. Let him go. He played for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Penguins, and on Sideline Swap, there's a bunch of jerseys floating around, game-used ones from the season that Freddie Tiffels played for them. They're not out there. His is not available. Someone already scooped it up. Pissed about it.
I don't blame them. They knew what they had.
What do you make of Matthew Tkachuk giving Leon Draisaitl the always a bridesmaid, never the bride thing? Because outside of he's just talking shit, I don't get it.
Well, I mean, what don't you get about it? Because like I feel like it's obviously like you've been second place to me 2 years in a row, and now here you are coming up short against me again. So like that I feel like is what it's about, but like it is a little bit of like it doesn't hit as well. It doesn't hit as hard when he's playing for Germany. Like Germany isn't the brides. Germany was lucky they were even invited to the wedding. they're not in the wedding party. Like this, he's not talking to Sweden or Finland. So it seemed a little goofy to do it while he was representing Germany because that team was not really a part of the equation. But like, yeah, I mean, listen, I have a lot of time for Matthew Tkachuk, the hockey player, and the on-ice shit talker. And we know from Brad Marchand that he is more than capable of getting in guys' heads, as he did when he told Brad Marchand he was quitting on his team, despite the fact that Brad Marchand had a concussion. So, like, I don't think I'm in a place to tell Matthew Tkachuk that his shit talk is bad, but I like it because you know that shit probably bothers Leon a little bit.
It's so as long as he's just saying your team is losing to my team, fine.
Yeah.
And really, like, unless you're like saying like family shit, you say whatever you want on the ice. I don't care. Like, or it doesn't even need to make that much sense. You're trying to get into somebody's head. I was concerned it was like you're not the best player out here when Matthew Tkachuk isn't the best player on his own team. Leon Draisaitl is the best player on his own team. Leon Draisaitl would be the best player on Team USA. So I thought that it was some sort of like that kind of thing, which because I thought it was like, oh, like you're second fiddle to McDavid. Now what?
Yeah,
you're
okay.
like second fiddle to Stützle or Peterka or something like that. And I don't know if you saw, like Leon Draisaitl was sucking down mustard packets on the bench because
classic cramp.
Yeah, right. To like try to avoid, like, he is Team Germany, and Matthew Tkachuk, like, his job was follow Leon Draisaitl around, which is like the ultimate sign of respect to a player. But you're allowed to talk your shit as long as okay, I misunderstood. I thought that it was some sort of like you as a player relative to whatever. If he's just like you're always on the losing team, then
yeah, that's all I think it was. That's why like Matthew Tkachuk is really the only one in that situation who can do it because he's the only Panthers representative there. It would have been hilarious if Seth Jones had been healthy and pulled that on Leon Draisaitl, because I guess technically he can, but was only part of one of them. But yeah, the best part of that clip, which obviously we can't actually show, was Brady just laughing like a dummy behind Matthew, being like, oh, my brother got you. And I'm like, sometimes they are just such funny TV characters to me.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Brady Tkachuk can't read discourse out there. And obviously, Brady Tkachuk and I, for example, share different politics. So like there's a lot of like non-hockey reasons for Brady Tkachuk to catch a lot of shit. Hockey-wise, I watch that team play and I'm like, Austin, if you don't do it, someone's going to like come up to you and take that C off your sweater and put it on Brady Tkachuk. Like Brady Tkachuk is the engine of that team.
Yeah, he is absolutely like, I kind of talked about it on that post-game show with Petey, where it's like, it's Austin Matthews, they gave the C because he's just like the best player in theory, but like now through Four Nations and this, he has not been the best player. I think obviously Brady has been like the most important player for Team USA. And like when you see, the one thing I have loved about this Olympic coverage is how much mic'd up content you get during the games, and like Brady clearly is one of the more vocal leaders on the team. So I think he's the spiritual captain, even if he's not wearing a letter.
All right, let's get to our first guest of the day from NESN and WEEI. It's the great Bridgette Proulx, who also does the skate podcast with Bridgette, do you have headphones or anything like that? We're getting a little echo situation.
Uh-oh. I'm getting an echo from you guys, too.
That's
or, by the way, I should
literally
say,
happened with our last guest, so this is not... It might be our fault.
Well, I don't know what you did to Pete, first of all, so that you might want to figure that out first, but...
Well, he died. We stuffed him.
Okay. He's a little bit more frozen than I am right now, but, yeah, can you see me now?
I can see you. We're dealing with an echo, though.
All right.
Sean, can the people in chat... Okay, the chat's saying that there's an echo. So, do you have any headphone situation you could put on?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can throw headphones in.
All right, we could also, take your time.
I got you.
Word. Sean, let me fire off some Pete sounds.
Go crazy.
Shang Pang is going to join the show.
No,
all right, I think it looks like she's got headphones in. We should be good now.
No, Bridgette Proulx is going to join the show. Bridgette, can you hear me? Everything is good?
I got you.
Okay,
Can
awesome.
you
I
hear
was
me
also
now?
yes, very good, excellent. I was also going to shout out the Skate podcast with Scott McLaughlin and Brian DeFelice on WEEI, or I guess it would be called Odyssey now. It's very good. For folks who don't know, Bridgette has done play-by-play for PWHL, also a lot of college hockey, covers the Boston Bruins for WEEI, and a very logical guest as USA goes for gold after beating Sweden. Bridgette, when I've talked about this tournament with people, both on the men's and women's side, I've been like, it seems uncompetitive in certain ways, and I can't tell if that's a good thing. Like, when I watch the men, I'm like, I fear that Canada is a lot better than everybody, including maybe even USA. When I watch the women, I'm like, USA is so much better than everybody, and that rocks, and I'm not mad about that. Obviously, Philippe Poulin did not play when USA played Canada, but if you watch this tournament and you say, Jesus, USA is so much better than everybody, are you right or are you being a homer?
Well, see, we're American, so it's maybe hard for us to say, but I think that, yeah, I mean, if you just look at the way that their young players are playing the U.S., I think it's easy to see they have just that element that Canada doesn't seem to have. And it wasn't just like, okay, Canada lost 2-1 without their captain. It was, they lost 5-0 without their captain. So it's a big difference between not being able to score once, or like, you know, if it was a 1-goal game, maybe you're like, oh, maybe when she's back, it'll be different. But it didn't feel like that. And the U.S. goaltending, I think, is above and beyond anyone else. I think their college hockey players are phenomenal. They're, you know, the age range of like 20 to 23-year-olds on their team that have been impactful, or it's just crazy. So they're the favorite in my opinion, and we're just recording this just after the U.S. Beat Sweden, but we still haven't seen Canada-Switzerland. So it seems like it'll be U.S.-Canada again, but we don't know for sure because Switzerland did upset Finland in their game and made it to the semi.
Did you think that the college players, and there's college players on a lot of teams in this tournament, but like specifically the college players for USA, the Abbey Murphys, the Tessa Janikis of the world, the KK Harveys of the world, who have Layla Edwards, the list goes on and on. Did you think they would be this impactful?
You know what? I wasn't sure because I covered the PWHL and I cover college hockey, but like separately. And I tend to, you know, like in my mind, I hadn't really tried to think about like what the crossover would look like, maybe besides like Abbey Murphy being amazing and knowing she's going to make a jump to pretty much looking the same probably when she goes pro. But I did 2 broadcasts with Abbey Murphy earlier this season when Minnesota came out to play BU. She was head and shoulders above anyone I've watched in the women's side of college hockey. And she ran up the score. It's a good Minnesota team, but she was a huge reason why they play the way they do. She has like a little bit of Marchand in her where she's a bit of an agitator and she can throw you off your game that way. So does Tessa Janicki. I did her broadcast when Penn State came and played Northeastern. And she's a really intense player as well. And Janicki was somebody who was kind of like on the bubble of making the team, and I think it's a really good decision that they made to put her on there because you see how impactful she's been. You see her being a little bit of a pest as well. I think that the U.S. does that better, right? Than Canada on the women's side, probably the men's side too. But Canada did add Tom Wilson, so that changes it a little bit. But yeah, like I think that helps them. They always just feel like they're in the fight and they're bringing the rest of their team into the fight with their personalities and their drive. So
I knew that Layla Edwards moved from forward to defense, and obviously there's so many good forwards on USA, but it's one of those things where you're like, I feel like I'm too late in the game to like research how did this happen. Like I feel like I missed a lot of the conversation here. So I went back and I was like reading features on Layla Edwards, and this was her call. Like she went to the coaching staff and was like, I'll play defense. And at first they were like, that sounds like a waste of a conversation. This sounds ridiculous to do. But then they started like looking at analytics and stuff. And I saw a quote from the head coach to ESPN that was basically like, I had our analytics department watch Canucks games, which actually that sounds bad, but like watch Canucks games and say like, how much does Elias Pettersson touch the puck and how much does Quinn Hughes touch the puck? And they were like, Quinn Hughes touches the puck way more than Elias Pettersson. And they were like, okay, cool. Let's Layla Edwards, are Quinn Hughes, or are like people have compared her play to Zdeno Chara just because she like moves so well for her size. What did you make of it when that decision was first made, and did you see it working out this well?
I've seen it done a few times on the women's side. One of my broadcast partners, Gigi Marvin, did it in her the inaugural season of the PWHL. She's normally a center. She played D because she can skate backwards really well, right? So there's certain skill sets that if you have them, it translates. It's obviously difficult, but you know, if you're a good, just smooth skater, you can skate backwards well, you can close gaps well, you've got a good stick, like you're poke checking really well. That kind of stuff translates. And AJ Malesko was talking about it on the broadcast a little bit too, because one Olympics she played forward and then the next she played defense. So she had tried to make that jump, and sometimes you're just a really good player. So if you see that you can make an impact somewhere else that they might need you, you go and you try to fill that role. So I think it's admirable to have to try to pick up. Imagine being like the best forward and then just having it somehow become Quinn Hughes. It's the best defenseman. So it can't be easy. I know AJ Malesko said that gap control was the hardest thing to learn, just, positionally. You're just looking at the ice a different way from back there.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes USA women more like Canada men in that, like, well, at some point the goaltending could give out for Canada, but as I look at Canada in the men's side, I'm like, there's no real weakness here. Like, there's no place where they can be exploited. USA women, every position is not just good, but so much better than whatever the competition is putting out there. Because on the back end now, like in addition to Caroline Harvey, you do have Layla Edwards. Now, as these players enter the PWHL, I want to hit on something that we were chatting about a little bit yesterday, which is I watch Hannah Bilka, and I'm so mad that the expansion draft took her away from the Boston Fleet and brought her to Seattle, where undoubtedly a lot of fans are very happy over there. Expansion's going to keep happening. So I'm assuming expansion drafts are going to keep happening. Is there a better way to do this, or like something to, because it's good that if your team is coming, that you get an expansion draft and you get to pick up all of these good players. But for a young league, like say I am a kid who's a Boston Fleet fan, and after a year or two of really liking a player, there's so much turnover. Like, we like turnover in other sports, but I feel like the PWHL is still establishing itself. So is that detrimental a little bit? And is there anything different you would do?
I think the hard part is, and I know exactly what you're talking about, because there was a lot of Hillary Knight fans, and then like she's already gone. Like, she was the captain for the inaugural season, and we're not very far removed from that, and she's now not there anymore. I think the hard part is, because the league is so small, it started out with 6 teams, now up to 8, is that you can't do a one at a time kind of add-on. So you're going to have to do 2 at a time. Like, you even it out, which means that each team is losing more players each off season to these expansion drafts. And there's only a few players that you're able to protect. When we think about the NHL expansion draft, you have a larger number of your roster that you can say, these guys are untouchable for us. You can pick from these lesser people. In the PWHL expansion draft, teams were picking off some of the best players because you only have the ability to block off, I think, three players. And okay, well, most teams have their 4th best player is still amazing, right? So that's what was happening, and that's why the landscape looks completely different than it did the inaugural season. And also, because it was a new league and they're still figuring it out, their contract length isn't like the NHL, where you can give somebody an 8-year deal. So the contract situation's a little bit different. Shorter term contracts, pay is obviously different. The trades that you make, they have to line up. The contracts have to like match each other. It's different than what people, if you're comparing it to the NHL, would maybe think. Because I had to learn all of it myself, because I was like, oh, that's new, right? Like, there's a lot of things that they do that's slightly different that people might not understand. But yeah, I think unfortunately, like you were saying, DJ, like, the expansion has broken up teams. But once we do get to that larger league of, say, next expansion probably 10, and then after that 12. Once you get into that 12 to 16 team range, maybe eventually you're not going to need really the expansion too often. You're not going to deal with that kind of stuff. But we're still in the beginning process of that, so that this could still be going on 5 years from now.
Yeah, I guess it's just impatience on my part. And I do, like you said, 10 or 12 teams. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, just get it to 12 and then do like a 4-year freeze or something so there can just be a little more stability. But that would be counterproductive also. Like if you can keep expanding and keep growing that league, then of course you're going to want to do it. Speaking of the league growing, how much better do you think the league gets once all these kids get there? Like this seems like a monster draft class, and no disrespect to any young players who have entered the league so far, but I feel like there's a lot of household names right now that are going to jump into the league, and that's going to be big for both competition and fandom.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was talking to Northeastern head coach Dave Flint this past week because he's been watching a bunch of his former players and a current player out at the Olympics and been in touch with them, and he was saying how great it is to see how impactful the college players have been in the tournament, because it just means that women's hockey is getting stronger and stronger. And the thing is, we're talking about the seniors that are about to go into the PWHL and these US level, like the national team level players. There's even players underneath that are sophomores and freshmen in the NCAA that I watch and I go, wow, she's going to be an amazing pro. Like Northeastern right now has a player called, her name is Striker Zablocki. Amazing. You'll see her in the pros eventually, but she's a freshman right now.
Coolest name in the world.
Amazing name. But she'll be a pro, right? And so when I was texting you last night about expansion, the negatives of expansion being that you lose players, but the positive is now there are more teams and more roster spots available for those players who are coming up, and it's not going to knock all players that are already in the league out of the league. Like there will be opening spots, and in particular for goalies, this is important because I think there are way more good goaltenders that can be in this league. There's some backup goalies in this league that are so good they should be starting, and I just think because of the position, and this you'll hear from coaches, goaltending is and the women's side is almost always a step ahead of the scoring. So the goalies on the women's side are a lot of them are next level. They can stop. I mean, just look at Erin Frankel. She's hard to score against, right? So it takes time for people to catch up and figure out how to score on those goalies, but they just keep developing at a high pace. So I don't know. I think it'll be good for the actual players that are looking to join the league. And I know that some players are still training, even if they're not in the PWHL right now. Like they might not be on a team at all, but they're out training, trying to make sure that when the next expansion happens, they could still make the team. So it just shows you how there's so much more, there's so many more players that could be in the league once it gets bigger.
Amazing. Things getting better for PWHL. Things getting better for women's hockey. Things getting better for USA's medal count because there is a gold loading. Bridgette Proulx, you're the best. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Bridgette. You can catch Bridgette's stuff on WEI on NESN. Yeah, Sean, I was texting you about that ESPN feature. Ryan S. Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Did you read it?
I didn't have a chance to yet, no.
Just search any cool keyword on there. Just search just search Chara, and there's a cool quote about yeah, she's gonna be Chara.
I mean, she's so fucking cool. It was cool seeing her family there and the Kelseys, Kylie and Jason, who obviously played a big part in her getting her family there.
Very cool.
Layla Edwards is my favorite part of the Olympics.
I like it.
I mean, for a handful of reasons, but it's been. The women have just been so fun. I love dominance. I've talked about this before. I love watching teams dominate and just show that they're on a different level, and that's what the women have done. Even to an extent that the Canadian men haven't done because they haven't played the U.S. The U.S. the gap between the U.S. women and Canadian women are significantly larger than the gap between the Canadian men and the American men, I think. At least that's based on what we saw in the one game that they played so far in these Olympics. I love seeing them kick ass. It's been awesome.
Beautifully put. And I agree. I'm trying to talk myself into, you know what? The gap between the Canadian men and the American men isn't that large. USA's just had some weird starts to some of these games, and maybe if they meet each other, it'll be, I mean, if they meet each other, it's going to be a close game, I think. Yeah. But we can get a better perspective on that from the great Steve Peters inside the coach's room. You could read it right there on the mug. Actually, this mug says Petey's Puck Talk as well. Petey, you've got a pretty chatty mug.
1 second.
1 second. In the meantime, I will... Oh, hey, Petey. Petey? Petey frozen?
I thought this was a thing. I thought this is what we were doing. I was looking at Pete, and I thought, hey, is this a thing?
Oh, wait, did you just fuck with me?
Yeah, I was doing a bit.
Oh, you dickhead.
Doing a bit. That's what we do here. It's bringing in the chaos.
Very good job.
Bit.
Sean, do me a favor. Throw up that full screen again that has the qualification, playoff, and all of that, so we can refresh people on what's going on over on the men's side, because Tuesday we get the qualification playoff games: Germany, France, Switzerland, Italy, Czechia, Denmark, Sweden, Latvia, and then you got the top 4 seeds: Canada, US, Slovakia, and Finland, awaiting the winners of those teams in the quarterfinal. Petey, is Canada as good as they look? I feel like any pro-Canada question I ask is going to be really fucking obvious. If I'm like, they're really this sick, right? The answer is going to be yes.
Yeah, but the problem, 100% yes. But through 3 games, they've had no adversity. They hit the ground running and have not trailed for a second in this tournament. Does it matter? Well, it might. It's hard because it's hard to play system play correctly. It's hard to make, the right play all the time when you are literally dominating through the first 3 games. So yes, they are that good. They are as good as advertised. They can put out any of their 4 lines and they can score at any moment. They're built differently than the Americans. Americans are top 6, bottom 6. Canada is top 13. Their forward group is absolutely elite. However, they haven't had to face any top 6 defense like you do see in the NHL that can sway a game. I still believe in defending wins championships. Canada has not had to defend through 3 games. And so will that matter? I'm curious to see how this all falls out over the next 48 hours, meaning who's going to play who, because there could be some surprises in this next round for both Canada and the Americans.
Okay, the chat is wild about the fact that you outbidded me. Very good job, buddy. You threw me for a loop. You fucked me up, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. I looked at Pete and I was watching on my phone, and I'm 58 years old and there were glasses. Literally didn't know for the first 10 minutes of the show. Wasn't there. Didn't know.
Amazing.
Didn't know. Yeah, because he had a few comments and he was off. Come on, Pete. Like, I don't know if it was tech issues. I don't know. But DP's better than that. So, this. I live for the Olympics. I live for best on best. I love the World Juniors. It's my favorite tournament other than the Olympics best on best. The disappointment for me so far in this tournament is how dominating the top 2 teams in this tournament have been and how little they have been tested. And USA has been tested more and more challenges, but they've done it to themselves in their inability to get quick starts. I wanted to see those tight matchups. I wanted to see a team, tied going into the third. And unfortunately, we haven't seen that yet. I think we will. I think there's some really exciting games to come, but we haven't seen it yet.
What do you think it'll look like when these 2 teams play each other? If these 2 teams play each other.
I know, we got to throw up the big if. It is. And I tell you, the biggest reason why it's a big if is because Sweden sucked in the preliminary round. And that's so unfortunate for Team USA that could come up to their first quarterfinal game and have to play Team Sweden, who I said going into the tournament was the 3rd best team in the Olympics. And they haven't had great goaltending. They haven't been able to get their offense going. But when they do, this is a team stocked with NHL players that can compete at this level with these other 2 teams. So I think they're dropping the game to Finland could be something that the Americans are going to be really unfortunate that they might have to face them early. But if they get to play each other, I think this is going to be hard for both teams. I do, because I don't think they've had to have that intensity level yet. They'll tell you they have, but they haven't. They haven't had that intensity level for 60 minutes. And you have been able to play your 13th forward through all 3 of your games. You've been able to shuffle your lines. You're putting Connor McDavid out there for 15 minutes. You're looking at some of the best American players like Gensel, who I really like, playing 10 or 11 minutes. That's going to have to change. So it's like playing, I said this earlier, it's like playing the preseason and then going to the Stanley Cup Finals. It's that big of a difference. It's been so casual and so light and so easy. And now, well, we got to play for it all and compete for 60 minutes. This is going to be really difficult for both of these teams over the next few days.
Petey, we have breaking news in the world of the NHL. You know what I'm about to say to you?
I have no idea. I don't.
USA-born American goaltender, not on Team USA, but maybe in the future, Brandon Bussi has signed a 3-year extension with the Carolina Hurricanes with an AAV of $1.9 million. Sean, here the fuck I was saying I'd be offering him 3 times 5. I've been trying to get him at 4 times 5. Pete and I were arguing, do you give him 3 times 4 or 4 times 5? And I was saying you give him 4 times 5. How about 3 by $1.9 million? What? Oh my God. That is a player, Petey. I think that is a player saying, I've had some stops in my career. I'm 27 years young. I've had to work my way to the NHL, and it turns out my first real NHL home is a good one. They can offer me jack shit, which is what he kind of got offered here, and I am taking it because I am staying because I am good. I'm posting like a 9-10, and I'll do it for a few more years. I'm not going to fuck this up and switch things up at all.
That's huge news. As Frederik Andersen's up at the end of the year, you get Kachetkov's making $2 million a year. Bussi's been, the good point here is, you're right, he's 27. And is this the anomaly? Is this the Jim Carrey season? I don't know, but man,
good reference.
Carolina. Yeah, I know. Nobody knows who the hell that is.
I loved Jim Carrey back in the day.
Oh, stud. Yeah, Stud, the Hamburglar. There are those.
Yeah, there are those guys
that played around, and they have a season like this. And is this the anomaly? I don't know. Carolina probably said that at the table. Hey, dude, you haven't done it before, and you're 27, so good luck. And you're right. If you wait, this is huge for Carolina, a team that I think can do some damage in the playoffs if they get good goaltending. Great for Brandon Bussi, but even better for the Carolina Hurricanes. Bank robbers, 1.9. Wow.
I mean,
signing.
They're probably my favorite in the Eastern Conference. Are they yours?
No.
Or in the mix?
No.
Who's yours?
The Carolina Hurricanes are going to do exactly what they do every year. They're going to play the same way games 1 through 82. They're going to play the same way games 83 through 87. They don't change their style of play. They're tired out by game 95, and somebody's going to pound them. I'm telling you, unless they can find a way to change. I like Carolina. I think they do things extremely well, but it's very, 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 very hard to be a puck-chasing team for 82 games plus the playoffs. You're exhausted, and you cannot continue to do it. And if you get up against a team like Florida, like Tampa, I don't think Florida makes playoffs, but like Tampa's better. Tampa's better. Tampa can play away from the puck better. Tampa can get the puck to open areas better. I think Tampa's the best team in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, no, Tampa's a great call. I was going to ask, are you going Tampa or are you going Buffalo if you're not going Carolina?
All in Tampa. Buffalo is impressive, and they've done some great things. And again, Lindy Ruff, I thought was getting fired 2 days after the GM, and now they've gone on this run, so they can't. Great season for the City of Champions in Buffalo, but it's not their year yet. Sorry, Sean.
Sean, have I addressed it on the proper podcast, the City of Champions thing, or only on the Patreon? I'm not going to lock out.
I think it was only the Patreon.
Okay, City of Champions thing is for real a celebration of Buffalo. If you've watched this show, you know, and I feel bad about how Pete and I would talk about the Coyotes in the early days of this show. When Sean would talk about the Sabres and the Coyotes, and we would say, what are the Coyotes? I don't know her. And the Coyotes lost their team, and we felt really fucking bad about it. We have always championed the Buffalo Sabres. So when they started winning, you're damn right. And Sean moved. Of course, I'm calling it the City of Champions. Is it a little tongue-in-cheek? Yes, but I only realized that when Sean pointed out that he was like, that's kind of mocking. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess it is. But whatever. It's all love. It's only I shouldn't be responding to this because it's one guy on Twitter who is so mad and is like, Buffalo will not let you come do the show in the spring. If we're in the playoffs, the fuck Buffalo won't. Buffalo is my second home after Edmonton. Boston is my third home.
I'm not sure they'll let me back in the city after a few nights at Chippewa. It's another story, though. Have you been on Chippewa till the late evening hours?
No.
Have you had that later? Bars open till 4?
I'm trying to think of
Center
where...
of the Universe, Chippewa Street.
I'm trying to think...
It is
it's Chippewa Street? That's the name of it?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a bar I've been to. I've been to a bunch of Buffalo bars. I don't remember any of them.
Well, then you were on Chippewa, but you had to be. But I will say this. Around the National Hockey League cities, there are very few that you look forward to like you do Buffalo. And people may laugh, but it's no joke that Chippewa Street is get as much trouble as you want to. And you can see some media reports of a couple of guys named Kane that will tell you that. But put it up there with Nashville. You can have and the Wings, buddy. Anyway. Sorry. Our Olympic talk is not going as well as I had anticipated, DJ.
No, it's going well, but the Bussy talk just got crazy.
Talk about it. That blows them up. Yeah,
Good for
great.
Young Gritty in the chat said that this is the goaltender who gives you cash. Amazing. Do you give anyone else a chance in this tournament, Petey? Because I'm very happy for Slovakia with what they've done.
Yeah, no. The truth is Canada's the best team. They've been the best team. They are going to have to run into the Americans. I think the Americans are the only team that can give them a challenge. I mentioned Sweden, but that's because Sweden plays more like Canada. Because Sweden's trying to finesse you. They're trying to speed you. They're trying to offensively outscore you. I think the Americans, when they built this team, planned to play Canada. And I think that's why you're seeing Vinny Trocheck and JT Miller a part of this team. I think they know they're going to have to be able to defend and especially defend on the penalty kill. So I think they're built different, and I think that will give Canada more challenges. I shouldn't say I'm surprised to see how well Canada has, but you've seen in international tournaments with Canada. We talked about the World Juniors, World Championships. They have stumbled at times, and they've had a game coming out of the preliminary rounds where they've stumbled, and you go, oh, don't worry, Canada will be there in the medal round. This is the reverse. They've been absolutely dynamic world beaters. They don't, I shouldn't say don't make mistakes, because Proulx throws the pizza up through the middle and is actually the only player that's a 0 and plus minus for Team Canada, which seems to be difficult. That plays all 3 games.
Did you see what the reaction on Twitter to that was, Sean, when Proulx threw that pizza up the middle?
I did not.
It was everybody on Twitter said, and that's why you leave Evan Bouchard off the team.
I knew it had to be a Bouchard thing.
An unforgivable mistake from Evan Bouchard. I shit you not, Petey. I'm not taking Cale Makar off anything, but when I watch the Canada power play, I do think, I'm like, if they had Evan Bouchard on there, just for the sake of, Evan Bouchard does not let the puck out of the offensive zone. I think he might be the best, you'll know this better than me, but I think he might be the best player in the league at keeping the puck in the zone. And that's the only thing I've ever thought while watching Canada, other than, holy shit, these guys are also good. The only time I've been like, they could kind of use this is if they did have Evan Bouchard, that would have been like the last thing that makes them impossible to beat. Although we know the Evan Bouchard experience, sometimes he's going to give you a little bit of the Colton Proulx there. If you are Team USA, what is your strategy against Canada?
Well, it's funny because you talk about that turnover by Proulx on the breakout. Well, it occurs because someone learned how to forecheck against Team Canada. You don't. You send one player and you play 4 players high in the zone at the top of the circle. You cannot over-aggressively forecheck against Team Canada or you will be in trouble. I think what's going to be the advantage for the Americans against every other team that's played Canada so far is they understand how to play system play in the National Hockey League. And they're going to protect the middle of the ice. They're going to stay above McDavid. They're going to going to protect the house in front of their goaltender. And those are things that Team Canada hasn't had to face. I think the X's and O's under Sullivan's Team USA are going to be much better than anything they've faced because these players can play at a pace like that. And no, this isn't a knock to these other teams, but I'm watching from the coaching perspective of these teams playing Canada, and we used to call it the Polish defense. Is you dump the puck in over the blue line and everybody stands at the blue line, waits for them to break out. You go back to your end of the ice and everybody stands around the goalie and you hope the end of the game it's still 0-0. Because I think that some of these teams are trying to play with Team Canada, meaning they're trying to be aggressive on the forecheck. They're trying to be aggressive on the puck. Canada's too good. They're going to make you look silly. And that's what's happened to this point. I think they're going to be up against something when they are challenged in all three zones, when they have teams above them, when they have teams protecting the middle of the ice that don't let those seam passes through. That's where the Americans can have the advantage. If they play smart hockey, I think the Americans can beat the Canadians. I think Hellebuck has had to face more shots. I think they've had to defend more. They've had to play from behind twice after the first period, so they know what it's like in the locker room to face adversity. The Americans can absolutely win this game, but they're going to have to shorten their bench. You look at players, and I love Kyle Connor and Clayton Keller. They're playing 9 minutes, and can they be effective at 9 minutes? They can't. So either you play them 15 to 17, or they're not going to get as much ice time. So I do think the Americans have the firepower. They have the offensive ability. They don't have the game breaker. And that's the biggest piece missing for Team USA. And I know Matthews is leading this team in scoring now. He's got 3 goals, but he's not McDavid. He's not McKinnon. He's not even Makar or Celebrini. They have game breakers on Team Canada. USA's got to do it as a group, which is fine because they've done it to this point so far. But yes, this is the matchup we all want. This is the matchup we all want to see. Goodness gracious, God forbid we see a gold medal game that isn't these two. I don't know if it will draw the attention of the North American fans like it would be if these two teams play.
No, it's going to happen, and it's going to rock. And Sean's going to come to Boston to watch it with us, and we're all going to jump up and down. You know about that, Sean?
Yeah. Are you doing a live watch? You got to do a watch along, aren't you? Canada-US final?
I was kidding about Sean coming, but
work now.
Sean, I was playing hockey last night, second time I mentioned it, not to brag, and someone said to me that the gold medal game is Sunday at 8, right?
8:10 a.m. Yes.
Sunday 8:10 a.m. We should go to a bar to do. We either do a watch along in studio, or we could do some sort of event in Boston,
the greater Boston area.
Yeah, we could try to figure something. Sean, you wouldn't come to
that?
I
like it.
I mean, it's a little last second. We'd have to see what the flights look like, but I would love to be there in theory.
I love it. I am tuning in, and I know the Whatnuts will be there at 8:10 in the morning because 8:10 East,
8:10 US, East, yeah.
8:10 US. Good Lord, that's 6:10 where I sit now in Arizona. That's early.
Yeah.
Not too early for me, but
couldn't be
actually
me.
Make it play. The NHL should go to 6 a.m. games. I'm all in for that. Let's play at 6 a.m. Gary.
Chat's asking a good question. Are bars going to open for that game?
They'll do it for, if it were a fucking Patriots game, they would.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't know. Those are a little more predictable, I guess. I don't know. Are they opening up for a game that they won't know if it is even happening until Friday night?
I got some places that I think would. Oh right, fuck.
What's wrong?
Because it's going to be a Sunday morning, and they won't know whether or not the U.S. is even playing in that game until like late Friday. And I don't know. Like I know in New York, there's some things where they states have to get a waiver more or less. They have to get a license to open early for events like this. So I don't know. I would hope so, but I don't
know rules, Sean. But this is Boston, dude. If I want a beer at 8 in the morning, there's got to be somewhere I can find a beer at 8 in the morning, isn't there?
As long as it's not happy hour, because that's not legal, and also as long as it's not Thanksgiving, because you cannot buy alcohol or you can't buy liquor. I think it's all alcohol you can't buy on Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Let's see what the rundown entails.
We're past that, Pete.
Pete chiming in. The hell's Pete getting the waiver for today? Like what? I shouldn't say that because maybe there's health issues or some bad things. Is Pete okay?
No, I think he's just
Shang
paying
Pang
respect
is
to
join
the
the show.
Shang Pang, one of my favorites out of the San Jose Shark area. If he doesn't know what's going on in San Jose at the SAP, no one does. Shang Pang.
Shang rocks. He needs to be on regularly. We're going to talk Celebrini in a few minutes. But yes, even if we don't have, even if it's not like a drinking thing, because I don't drink, I would happily just go out and just do like a fucking pancake breakfast. It's the pancake breakfast.
Right there would be a vibe.
Pancakes and gold?
Breakfast food rock.
But you can't, though. No syrup, though. Or it's got to be American syrup at the very least. None of that Canadian bullshit. Got to be like from New York, the best
Denver
maple
omelet.
syrup in the world.
Yeah, so we're doing Denver omelets. We're doing like Vermont syrup, where just you can only
Florida
eat,
orange juice.
Yeah, Florida orange juice. Only foods that have fucking.
As Pete would say, America first.
Yes,
as
exactly.
Pete would say.
Yes, Pete.
I did not know that was 6:10 a.m. That has changed how I am going to approach this tilt on Sunday.
Well, you make your way over to Boston. You can watch that shit on U.S. Canada time.
I gotta come see that studio someday. You can sneak me in, right?
You want to join us for the 24-hour stream? You come and fly in at like 3 a.m. on Friday the 5th or something like that.
Oh, that would rock
so much. Would love to be on the 20th. That's my yes, because I could do the artwork. Like you guys, I get so jelly of the artwork that you guys do, the cartoon. Oh, what happened?
We have breaking news.
More?
We have breaking news for a second time.
Oh, yes, we do.
Pete, it's not funny. Well, now you'll feel bad for fucking laughing. Per Elliot Friedman, Jeff Skinner on unconditional waivers for purposes of contract termination. Welcome back to Buffalo, Jeff Skinner. No?
Welcome to the Los Angeles Kings, Jeff Skinner.
That's how I saw it. Someone in the chat said, Jeff Skinner, you are an LA King. And I was like,
just got to drive down the PCA a little bit, get down to LA.
Damn. Where are we putting Jeff?
Fun.
Kings
Friend
would be
of the
good.
program.
Yeah.
The Kings need somebody. They got a lot of money, so I don't know if Jeff Skinner quite fills the Kevin Fiala hole, but hey, dude's been there. I think they also a little Jeff Skinner.
They want to get rid of Warren Fogle, don't they?
Well, let's go. Make a trade.
Hasn't there been some chat that they would move Warren Fogle? Get out friend of the show, confused friend of the show, Warren Fogle. Bring on less confused friend of the show, Jeff Skinner.
Jeff Skinner. Yeah, I'm all about Skinner. I know I'm a fan, and the best work he has done is between two stalls, and I've missed that since he left the Buffalo area media market, because that honestly was no offense to What Chaos, right there. The bar is very high, but there has not been a better bit in the hockey world than Between Two Stalls.
I don't think there's been better hockey content than really anything that Jeff Skinner has done. God, man. So now the roster freeze, so teams can, I guess, claim him starting when the freeze lifts, or when? I have no idea.
The wrong guy for the rules. I don't know. Buffalo.
I wonder if anyone just picks him up.
I
wonder if someone claims him. It's like $3 million.
For the record.
Yeah, it's hard this time of year, especially with the trade deadline coming up, because if you claim him off waiver, he's got to play on your NHL roster. You can't send him down, and he hasn't. He's -8 on the season. He's only got 6 goals through 32. I don't know. I think teams would be fearful of that going into the trade deadline, but what the hell do I know?
Someone in the chat says Jeff Skinner would not fit in LA. I strongly agree with that. I do not think that he would be.
He's not LA King style hockey player.
Yes.
They need better. And I love Kevin Fiala. I really, really do. I think Minnesota wanted to keep him. I talked to the people in Minnesota when they let him go, saying that was a big one. They said we couldn't keep him. Financially, we couldn't. And I think he's been one of those guys you don't see enough because people don't watch West Coast hockey because it's bedtime. And he drives the offensive engine there. I know they've got Kempe and Kopitar and Byfield, but Fiala is one of the ones that can put on the speed boots and do some things through the neutral zone. They're desperately going to miss him. They've got to find a much better fit than Jeff Skinner. They're going to have to go out and they're going to have to give up some assets, because the trade deadline, they have to improve it just to make the playoffs.
Hurricanes maybe for Jeff Skinner? Bring him home?
Go home.
Boston Bruin Jeff Skinner?
I was going to say, I like that. I want to see Jeff on a team that doesn't have real expectations. I don't want Jeff to be Chris Knobloch again. Like I want to go to the Brewers or something where he could play nightly, and if they don't make the playoffs, it's not like they let people down.
Yep.
We have more breaking news.
No, what is it?
We have a, let's see, where is it? Well, again, Pete, joke's going to be on you. Legendary actor and Academy Award-winning actor, Robert Duvall is dead.
No.
At 95. He was 95. Robert Duvall. Rest in peace. That sucks. Robert Duvall rocked.
Iconic Godfather role as a consigliere. Oh, he's phenomenal.
Godfather. You want a good deep cut for Robert Duvall?
I do, actually.
I think Robert Duvall was in this. Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. You ever see that?
He was? Yeah,
Can't
I don't
confirm
recall
he
his
was.
performance.
Yeah, he plays Will Ferrell's dad and rival coach in youth soccer.
Oh.
But Will Ferrell gets tutored by Mike Ditka, who is smoking cigars against his wife's wishes, and it's a great movie. It's a great movie. Damn. R.I.P. to a legend.
Yep.
Nothing from Pete. Real good. Real good, Pete. Petey, wish we could have ended on a happier note.
Yeah,
but rest in peace to the great Robert Duvall.
Out there.
Yeah.
Throw that out there and throw me to the wolves. USA Sweden is the matchup of the next round. After these teams go to battle tomorrow on Tuesday, Sweden USA will be the match to watch in the quarterfinals. Stay tuned, and I hope I get to come back here at some point and talk Canada US. I hope, but that's already Sunday. After that, I'll talk playoffs. I'll talk hockey.
We'll have you back anytime. Movies. And you killed it.
Food.
You killed it with Sean doing the DFO postgame.
How about that for the old-time Arizona hockey feels? A little Sean DePaz, watching him grow up. It's like what you're watching your child excel and move forward. He just graduated college when we first met, and now look at him. Look at him. He's hosting national post-game Olympic shows. He's a big deal. I don't know. It was fun.
It was really good. Appreciate your insight always. Petey, we'll talk to you soon. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
All right. That's the great Steve Peters. Pete, not a Robert Duvall fan, but that is okay. Chat is not psyched about. Oh, I guess if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But
yes,
I loved Robert Duvall's work, and I think that he will be sorely missed. Sean, I wanted to do MVPs of the Olympics so far with you, and you can throw some out if you have any of them, but I've written down quite a bunch of them if I can find it.
You have most of mine written down. The only thing that you don't have written down that I kind of already mentioned is the Bilka. I mean, you kind of have Murphy in there, but the Bilka Heising Murphy line has been awesome. And like Aaron Frankel was like the greatest goaltender in the history of the sport.
Yes,
it seems so.
Legend.
Shout out those two.
Legend. So those are some obvious MVPs. Another one we haven't really talked about. Petey brought him up. Connor McDavid has 9 points through 3 games, which is the most ever. Well, most ever in the Olympics. First player in Olympic history to record 3 consecutive 3-point games. Not a surprise that he's doing that. He's 2 points off the record for points in an Olympic tournament by an NHL player. So he has 9. Teemu Selanne and Saku Koivu both had 11 points in the 2006 Olympics. I believe they did that in 8 games. And
how many is 3, right?
McDavid has played 3 games.
Yeah. Good at hockey. And also he's like checking people. Like he's not just like being Connor McDavid offensively and then taking time off, which he certainly could do because his team is better. He's like playing hard, a 200-foot game, and he didn't need to be doing that. It's kind of awesome to watch.
Yeah, he cares so fucking much, man. And I feel like maybe it's just a guessing game at this point, but when I look at why Canada like doesn't fuck around and why USA kind of has, I'm like, is it because McDavid is like, I am fucking winning?
I mean, I think it very well may be part of it, but like, I think when you're playing with Sidney Crosby, who's actually like done this shit, it probably hits a little different. Like, I feel like there's got to be a certain amount of like, we can't let down like the most important. I'm not going to say the greatest because obviously Gretzky, but I feel like at this point, at least in this generation, Sidney Crosby is like the most important Canadian hockey player, and like they don't like, and that's like one of the differences between Canada and U.S. Right, like the ages and the veteran, the experience and all that. Like I wouldn't want to let down Sidney Crosby. I'm not trying to rob Sidney Crosby of a goal in his last opportunity to get one, presumably. So I mean the names on that team, I feel like it's got to be very hard to not bring your all every single night.
Another MVP. Some of these are going to be serious. Some of these are going to be a little jokey. This one is not jokey. Caroline Harvey, a.k.a. KK Harvey, had 9 points through 5 games, leading all Olympic women. KK Harvey plays defense.
Yeah.
Just leading the tournament. Still leads the tournament in points, by the way, after USA played their 6th game. Speaking of defense, Layla Edwards got to be considered an MVP of this, just volunteering to move to defense and still putting up... she was 7th in points through group play. Again, as a defense and as someone who doesn't normally play defense. Macklin Celebrini, an obvious one. Tied with Tim Stützle for most goals in the Olympics so far, with 4 through 3 games. Famously, Macklin Celebrini is only 19. So good.
Yeah. Did you see the quote about him taking that penalty shot? Because unlike in the NHL, you get to choose who takes penalty shots.
Right.
And they asked Cooper about it afterwards, and apparently, more or less, I'm guessing Celebrini didn't know that, and so after he got the penalty shot, he just like went out to center ice, being prepared to take it, and the ref comes over to Coop and is like, "It's the choice is yours." And they all, like the players and the coaches, kind of looked at each other, being like, we're not about to go tell Macklin that he's not taking this. He's already out there getting ready, and so he took it and scored. And I love stuff like that.
Yes,
that's just Pete.
Absolute stud. Yeah, I mean Pete's into it.
I don't give a shit.
No, you're fucking into it. Fucking USA Bobo. Here's a big one. This one is throwing me for a major loop, and I need to check my notes because I've written down some things that I love about this person. The problem is, I do not know the name of the person who I am about to discuss. Whoever the British broadcaster is who has done... He did the Canada-France game, and he did another game. Pete loved him off rip. I was watching this game yesterday, or 2 days ago, whenever it was, and I love this guy. So I searched, like, broadcast team for Canada-France game. Nothing comes up. I tweeted, who's calling these games? No one knows. I texted 2 people covering the Olympics, including somebody on the broadcast team of men's hockey, and no one knows who this person is. I believe Peacock is using the OBS feed, which is the Olympic broadcast services. So like people who are doing it for like the like NBC people. So like there's like the Kenny Albert, like Catherine Tappan, AJ Mlesko group and everything. Like that seems like it's like NBC proper doing stuff for a Peacock thing. Ed Olczyk, yeah. Like I think these people like aren't working hand in hand with this person because he's maybe doing something through the Olympic broadcast services. I do not know who this person is. I have tweeted it. I have posted it on Threads. I might get back on Facebook. I'm asking people, who is this person? Because this man is broadcasting the games. This is a misconnection, I'm realizing is what this is. This man is broadcasting the games by himself. No play, but no color play, but it's just him. He's doing it by himself, and I am imagining he's doing it with one of those like lip mic things that they use in soccer.
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
And the reason I think this is because if you've heard any of this gentleman's calls, which are fantastic, there's a lot of I'm a soccer broadcaster to this guy. He, just like, for example, the France goalie made a save and then Tom Wilson jumped on it and he said, kicked out straight into the path of Wilson. We don't use path in hockey typically. We should.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
there's a lot of parallels.
There's my favorite one was one of them is he called Macklin Celebrini Canada's quote unquote magic man.
Celebrini, it's crazy. he didn't use Wunderkind.
Yes.
You want to get real soccer, but yeah. I love this. I didn't know who this this has completely missed me. I had no concept of this British guy until you brought it up. And now I want to know more.
Yes, so people in the chat are just coming up with all the stuff he said. Use the word conceded when Canada scored a goal. Or when Canada was scored on. They said, finally, Jordan Binnington has conceded. Love shit like that.
Yeah, I want to see someone get a shutout and him talk about the goalie's clean sheet.
Clean sheet. My favorite one though is he multiple times used stick interception for poke chop.
Nice stick interception
And a good stick interception.
Amazing. Apparently, according to Ashley in the chat, he did say Wunderkind, which. Of course he did. If this is a of course he did. And I'm assuming it was about Macklin Celebrini because that is like a textbook Wunderkind in hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. People are using soccer like broadcaster speak that I can't tell if they're saying he said this or like probably did. When he really gets the wind in his sails. Yeah, McDavid, when he gets the wind in his sails, entering the offensive zone.
McDavid's pace. Yeah, we need like a little 0-0 in there when the game's tied at 0.
Oh, you know what would be a good one? Is like when he didn't call the Germany game, but when Leon was pumping mustard packets, if he was just like Leon Draisaitl making sure he's fit.
Yeah, talks about fitness. I want to see. I wish we would use this generally speaking, but like I want to hear him say that somebody has a brace, score 2 goals. They have a brace.
Yeah.
Like we need a term for like a 2-goal performance is a special kind of performance. I like having a term for it, like they do in soccer.
Now, chat has noted a couple of things about the treatment of Cale Makar. Yes, this broadcaster called him Cole Makar. He also called Jordan Binnington Brinnington, which
nice.
I feel like Pete would be into that.
Which is funny because Binnington seems like a very British kind of name. Feels like you should be able to nail that one.
Yeah, oh yeah, true.
I mean, Cale Makar as well, but Cal is a little different of a name, so I get that. But
yeah, he called him Cole Makar, but if you're just going to throw away all the stuff he said about Cale Makar, you're throwing out the fact that he called Cale Makar a D-liner.
Yes.
The Canadian D-liner.
I mean, he didn't call him a defender or I like if you did like right D, left D, call them right back, left back, that'd be fun. Oh. Like I just like get as soccer as possible at this point. Be like borderline disrespectful to the sport of hockey by how soccer you make it. I'm there for that.
People in the chat noting that he has pronounced every name wrong. Look, no one's perfect. This guy does a service. He brings us. He tries to bring us all a little closer together by uniting us through soccer. Why not bring the number one sport in the world to everything in sports?
Yeah, I bet you if we had like any kind of like Hispanic nation teams, he'd be able to nail those names. Just not a little problematic there, but I feel like I can allow. I have time for a soccer announcer not being able to nail like Scandinavian names or something like that, because not a whole lot of those guys in soccer, or at least in the Prem.
So what sucks is Whatnuts in the chat. They're populating it. They're commenting. They're giving takes, sharing love. No one knows this fucking guy's name. Yeah, no one in the chat is saying, "Oh, that's Roger." No one knows this guy's name.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. Are we positive that he's real? Like, is there any AI involved?
In defense of Pete, by the way, I was pressing the laughing button while Sean was starting to talk. That was not. But then the fact that there was laughter, we had to just throw it on him. If he's AI, then this is where I start to get into AI.
I mean, the bar for I'll allow that, because if got to be like pretty exceptional content that you can't find anywhere else if we're doing AI, and it doesn't even seem like we can find this, so we're definitely not finding it anywhere else. Oh, he said Seth Bennett. That rocks.
So they're saying Seth Bennett, and I was assuming that they were like that Seth Bennett was a name he fucked up of somebody, that he called like Seth Jarvis Seth Bennett or something.
Oh, I figured it's Sam Bennett.
or that he called Sam Bennett Seth Bennett or something.
Is that not what it is?
Seth Bennett, let's see.
Yeah, I just assumed he was calling Sam Bennett Seth on accident.
Oh. From 3 days ago, Reddit Hockey. Anybody else kind of enjoy the Sweden-Finland play-by-play guy calling it like a football match? Nice. At first, his terminology, quote, middle ice for neutral zone, and how he pronounced a couple names, Zibanejad.
Oh, my Lord.
I thought, where'd they get these hacks? They don't know hockey. But by the end of the first, I was digging it. A little more of an understated tone and simmering intensity energy of a European football match versus the standard North American high-intensity approach. Someone in the chat says that apparently Zibanejad might be actually how that name is said. But
which wouldn't surprise me based on what we've learned about the pronunciation of some of these names in the Olympics. Oh, okay, so people are saying his name. So there is a Seth Bennett on BBC, but people are debating whether or not this is him.
Let's see. No one in this Reddit thing, there's a million comments. No one's saying, who is this guy? They're all just like, oh, yeah, I like him too.
I almost don't want to learn what his name is. I like this guy being kind of an enigma and just popping up. But
I want him on the show.
It's fair. That is very fair. Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe he's purposely living in anonymity.
If it is Seth Bennett, he goes with the pronunciations provided by the teams. He's gotten loads of hassle about his pronunciation of Ilya Kovalchuk's name at the 2018 Olympics, blah, blah, blah. Nope. This is funny.
This is
Someone commented, I did not like this guy. He said Heiskanen will be, quote, shattered after playing 25 minutes, which is like what Miro Heiskanen does all the time.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's maybe a lack of puck knowledge, but like saying that a guy is shattered because he's he's got a lot of time on ice rocks. Yes, make this as soccer as possible.
Who is this fucking man? Can somebody get me? I need a name. Based on the Olympic broadcast, says Stacey Fay, particularly blah, blah, blah. So Google says, and I was trying Google also, but Stacey's a little more intelligent than I am. Stacey says that it could be Seth Bennett. I am going to get in touch with this person and ask, this you? And see what he says.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, worst he could say is, no, that is not me.
Wait, Seth B45 on Twitter. Let's look at recent tweets. Good morning on February 5th. Olympic Games number 8 begins today. It is always exciting. I will be commentating on the ice hockey across BBC Sport. Can I message this person? DMs are open.
You're telling me the BBC couldn't find somebody from the ice hockey league there to give this guy a little color? Like, you're having this guy, you're kind of hanging this guy out to dry by having him call a sport he doesn't normally call completely and presumably never played completely by himself.
Canada, France was Sunday, right?
Yes. Yes.
If so, you have done such a great job, and we would love to have you on our hockey show. What chaos. Cheers. I'm going to end it with cheers.
You should have said you've had me, your performances, your calls have had me chuffed.
Oh, proper chuffed.
Get chuffed in there.
Are you on season 2 UK Traders yet?
I haven't started yet. I'm not going to start until the Olympics are over. I would much rather watch like women's luge than Traders.
I've been thinking about how you're going to watch that, and I'm going to try to be hands off and not like be the like overbearing person who's excited that you're watching something. But I have been thinking about who's Sean going to really like. I think you're going to be a Jazz guy. There's a guy called Jazz, and he's from Northern England, and he says like there's like a lot of I'm trying to think of like some of the things he would say. It's amazing. So message is, Hey, Seth, exclamation point. Have you been calling the hockey games such as Canada-France Sunday? If so, you've done such a great job and we would love to have you on our hockey show. What chaos. Cheers, exclamation point.
I like it. I don't know what's going on.
What?
I just think the chat's all over the place with this. The British announcer guy. I think that's a perfectly fine message. I don't know. I don't know how Brits feel about like an American saying cheers. I don't know. Like I like it though, but like I wonder if there's like this guy.
Wait. Someone in the chat says Chiclet said that it was Darren Elliott. This is going to be a 5-hour show, but if I find out who the fuck is calling this game, all good. I'll be here all day. Darren Elliott. Let's see. Darren Elliott hockey. No. Darren Elliott is a Canadian sports broadcaster and former professional ice hockey goaltender. Do you think that a 64-year-old Canadian man is talking about Macklin Celebrini being Canada's Magic Man? Not.
And also presumably putting on a British accent? All right, like I'm assuming this guy sounds British.
Young Gritty cracks me up. Young Gritty's so funny. When I was going like this, like getting ready to like I'm about to send it, Young Gritty said, "Lick that stamp, brother." Send it off. All right. We've asked a person called Seth Bennett if that's him. And if that's him, I'm going to Judy Jupiter the fuck out of this man, which is pay this person money, pounds, to come on the show. I will do whatever it takes. I love this guy, and I need him. Okay, who else do we have? For MVPs, Sean, you're going to like this one.
Yeah.
Any goalie we've never heard of before.
Yeah. Mainly the Italian goalies, both the men's and apologies to the women's Italian goalie. I do not remember her name, but she was also balling, which it's tough because them balling also includes them giving up like the most goals ever. But it's still fun to watch. Damian Clara, baller. The Italians just like another like soccer reference. The Italians have had a bunch of legendary goalkeepers. Now some of them just happen to be on ice. Gigi.
Did chat not know that I paid Judy Jupiter to come on the show?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't remember. I don't know if you said that publicly at the time or not.
Okay. Well, I'll be real. We don't pay our guests. If it's a sponsored thing, sure. But I found Judy Jupiter's contact, said, hey, got a show.
So rock star.
Do you want to make an appearance on this? And Judy Jupiter's response was, what does it pay? And I was like, what does it pay? So I just responded, $100. And she was like,
I did it.
Cool. Let's make it happen. And I was like, oh, I was proper chuffed.
Yeah. I mean, I think generally speaking, yeah, like you said, don't pay for guests. But like that's one where it's the fact that her first response is, what are you paying me? You got to pay that person.
Yeah, it's
you
gangster.
got to pay that person. Yeah, it rocks. But yes, Gabriella Durante.
Talking about Judy getting the bag.
Yes, but Durante was the women's Italian goalkeeper, and she also bowled. But yeah, I mean, the goalkeepers have goalkeepers. I'm calling them goalkeepers now. The goalies have kept these games interesting in a lot of games that probably should not have been that interesting.
Maximilian Franzreb, is that his name? The German fella, the backup for Grubauer.
Exactly how it's pronounced, but yeah. I mean, another one. Just the goalies are. I feel like it's really putting the country on their back type of vibe. Like when they get between the pipes, there's a lot that they feel like they're representing and they have to do. And just the performances in this tournament on both sides of it, but particularly in the men's tournament have been very fun to watch.
I've also got the boards being black, mainly because there was the Swayman goal, but also the broadcast and Petey on the DFO thing. I'm like, they're trying so hard not to do Donald Trump. The boards became the mind's blown by the boards being black, which I needed to point it out to me, and then my mind was blown. But it is pretty nonsensical.
It does not make any sense. It's not as noticeable on the broadcast because they do those like I forget what's the word, like the digital boards, like imposed.
You are right.
On them.
Yeah.
So like you don't really see it. Does seem like, and I'm shocked. Well, by the way, a quick tangent. You want to know something I haven't heard a single thing about since these games have started? Is the fucking rink size. Didn't matter at all.
I don't give a shit.
Neither do the players, apparently, about the rink size. Like, it hasn't come up in the slightest. But it's amazing to me that, like, nobody at any point was like, hey, the boards are white for a reason. Let's not make them the opposite color.
It does look a little stumpy.
Yeah, I mean, like, it looks
but that's
cool.
Olympic
I appreciate, yeah. Oh, like you said, like, I haven't noticed it, and I haven't heard anybody complain about it since the games have actually started. But the boards being black is a very odd decision.
And then the last thing I have for an MVP is old clips of Peter Draisaitl whenever Germany plays. Give them to me always.
I do love that. Generally, I just love when they do the flashbacks. Other MVPs are the Kachucks that are not playing hockey. Keith just drinking those miniature Coronas, and Taryn painting her face like the red, white, and blue, which was like I mentioned the other day, not something you got to do. You're like, and I say that endearingly, like you're a Kachuk, you could just be there and be a fan, but she's like, no, this is my goddamn country. I'm putting on for the U.S. of A, and I love that. That's so fun.
Yeah, I've been calling Keith Kachuk Sensei, the way he's drinking a few small beers.
I feel like that's a reference to something that I'm missing.
One battle after another?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's it. Okay, yeah, I do like that.
Few small beers. My girlfriend rolled her eyes at that part of the movie. She was like, this is just hilarious. Like, she's like, she laughed, but she was like, this movie is just like catnip for guys. I was like, I mean,
guess.
It's...
But like in that moment, I'm viewing it much more as like being a dick to authority. Like it was, it was an awesome Americans. Move. Yeah,
I mean, Benicio saying "few small beers." That really is though. That's like a vision board of like, make this certain man laugh is like, all right, we're starting with, it's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, obviously. Leo's going to be inebriated the whole time. Then Benicio, obviously, a.k.a. Sensei, dances when he gets pulled over when someone jumps out of his car, and he tells the officers that he had a few small beers. Not that drinking and driving is funny, but Benicio doing a little dance, mouthing off a little bit, take that all day.
That. Bad cop policing, by the way. How do you not notice somebody get thrown out of a car?
They said, what did you throw? Like, it was a person.
Second unit couldn't have pulled over and checked out that giant cloud of dust that was formed roadside by throwing. Never made any sense to me, but enjoyed it otherwise.
Yes. MVPs, of course, Seth Jarvis's friends.
Yeah. I haven't heard as much from them as I would have expected, but I did see a video from them this morning.
I think that Seth Jarvis's friends are like the Gritty of non-mascots, where like Gritty came out and there was like this big flash and it was like, oh, Gritty this, Gritty that, like everything. And like 4 days into it, you're like, I'm going to get sick of Gritty, aren't I? And then like 2 years later, you're like, I never got sick of Gritty.
Yeah.
And every time a little Gritty thing pops up, pretty happy about it. Like that's Seth Jarvis's friends for me.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't gotten they pick their spots well. You hear from them when you need to hear from them, and it's entertaining. Another one, Kendall Coyne Schofield's husband and son, who her husband's been all over the place, like on the NBC broadcast. Her son got a puck and then was in the second game, I think, just fast asleep as his mother was just fucking up Italy. Like, I love how much family coverage we get during the Olympics.
Yes. And we're getting much more Olympics, which is great. Let's do a little sports interaction, shall we? Let me pull it up. Oh, yeah, I got a good one. It's brought to you by Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook, Sports Interaction. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. So I am going with a qualification playoff game. Italy taking on Switzerland. Italy getting 4 goals. And Pete said he will not be caught dead betting money on Italy. I will be caught alive multiple times betting money on Italy because I'm going to bet on them again. They're getting 4 goals against Switzerland, and I'm not happy about the Fiala situation. I think it sucks. We've lamented it on this show. We are very bummed out by it, but it improves Italy's chances. Does it not?
No, I mean, you would have to assume so. And this is it for Damian Clara. Like, you got to have a performance of your life or your tournament is over. So
yes.
in front of the home fans, and Switzerland does share a border with Italy famously, so I'm sure the crowd there is going to be unreal. Like, this could be like, I think that could be a very entertaining game. Maybe not like the best hockey you'll ever see, but there's a lot of like extenuating things that are going to make it interesting.
That one is when? That one's at like 6:10, or no? That's Germany and France.
Italy Sweden is also at 6:10. Yeah,
also at 6:10
tomorrow.
So,
respect to Damian Clara, I'm not getting up for that one.
Oh, no, fuck you, dude. I'm getting up for all of it.
6:10 a.m. is tough for what is probably, like, the spread is 4 goals, even without Kevin Fiala. Like, the odds makers still think that Switzerland is going to embarrass Italy. So, well, in theory, it shouldn't be a very good game, but
we'll see.
Knows? It's the Olympics.
I am never turning down a chance to watch Damian Clara. That's my play, and I'm sticking to it. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play. With easy deposits and payouts, go to sportsinteraction.com/whatchaos to open an account. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. A few super chats to get to. Oh, Renee, my sweet Renee, says, we're going to talk Kings, aren't we? I'm dead inside. Not necessarily, Renee. I feel like there will be future super chats from you. Yep. It says, if there is a God out there, she hates me. Shout out God being a woman. God is a woman. Brian Wilson said that. Did Ariana Grande say that as well?
Oh, yeah. You'll believe God is a woman. I forget what song that is.
Oh, yeah.
Say that in a song. Yeah.
Yeah. From 11.
Side to Side, I believe.
Oh, I like that one. 1177-1. Hero says, guys, it's the first day of Chinese Lunar New Year. Wishing the entire What Chaos community a great year of the horse. Well,
yeah.
Hell yes to that.
It's the year of it's the Toronto Maple Leafs year.
I'm into it.
Yes,
maybe
exactly. That's what's been wrong
cup
for them. Like, they've been waiting for the Chinese Lunar New Year to start, and then that's what maybe we'll get back from the Olympic break, and the Leafs are going to turn it on.
Do we place a Leafs future? Probably not.
You could place a Leafs future if you want to donate money, but who knows? Maybe. Well, the problem is that come February next year, when they've had an awesome start to that season, they're going to fall apart once the year of the horse ends. Do you know what animal you are?
What animal I am?
I know. I was born in the year of the tiger.
Oh, wait. So you just search say what year is?
I believe I don't know if it's 10 or 12 animals, but yeah, like I think it's 10 every like 10 years essentially.
Oh, hell yeah.
That animal. What do you got?
Dragon.
Nice. I mean, that feels like the big one. I feel like dragon and tiger have to be like the 2 big dogs.
It's the 5th of the 12-year cycle.
It is 12, okay.
So what are the other ones?
There's like, I think there's like
because dragon definitely sounds
mouse.
like top dog.
I would say so. I remember for this because when I was a kid, I would always go to a Chinese buffet with my grandma, and they had like a lunar, like all the little animals on there and like little things. We got dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, pig, rat, ox, tiger. Did I say rabbit? Did I start on rabbit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's those 12.
Damn. There are some good ones. Everyone find your Chinese zodiac and celebrate it. I know I'm happy to be a dragon. Very good. I believe that is all that we have for today. We had a long one.
We have two more
was
super
chatty.
chats.
Oh, no. Yeah, we've got more super chats. I apologize. From Jules. Pete, blink twice if you believe in Team USA. Interesting. Come on. Stacy Faye says, get Petey into the studio for the 24-hour live stream fund. I mean, it would be sick if we just had, like, on the other side of the studio, just people hanging out, coming and going. If they want to dip in, they can. It's just like, we would just call that section the party. I used to watch a show called Dance 360, where someone would dance for a little bit, and then when they got sent like out of the competition, they'd be like, all right, you're going to go back to the party, and you just hang out with the party. I wish that we had like a little party. Talking Laz, talking Petey, talking every ESPN employee, talking like Shayna, everybody.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Was it the live stream last year, or was it a different live stream that we had a bunch of children crash?
That was a Stanley Cup watch along.
Oh, yes. Right. Yes.
And the Oilers must have been winning that game for me to have tolerated it, because I remember being very into it.
Yes.
Or very receptive to it.
Like receptive to it. Yeah. I cannot remember for the life of me what was going on at the time, but other than all those kids somehow knowing who we were, kind of.
Yeah.
They had the streams pulled up on their phones.
Wild. All right, this is a fun one. I would say one of Pete's better shows. Not his best.
Yes.
I think he's going to do even better tomorrow. I'll admit.
Me too.
Pete wasn't here today. We used a little smoke and mirrors, and I missed him dearly. We're excited to have him back tomorrow. That will be a lot of fun. But it was fun to experiment doing a show with the fake Pete.
Yeah, I mean, he contributed in spots. Like, he picked his moments well.
Yeah, exactly. I never used this one.
Say it as many times as you need me to say it.
Oh, I was going to do that during what's it called? Today on the show. I'm going to be like, stop just saying today on the show. And then he does that. That's going to do it for today. If you haven't liked this video, please make sure that you like it. And if you have not subscribed on YouTube and everywhere that you get your podcast content, please do it. Chat noting that we're lying because Pete is clearly right there. So got ya. Shout out to Steve Peters, Bridgette, Proulx, everyone who hung out today. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.